Citizen TV, the citizen's power. 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 Citizen TV, the citizen.
Honorable Chair, yes, we are in the process of recovering. We've recovered 176,092.45. It is left with 222.61.
Sir, I thought your first word was yes. My question was, have you recovered these amounts? And you said yes.
Yes, I said yes. We are recovering because we are using a system. We are using the system of payroll to recover.
And how much have you recovered so far?
So far, we've done 176,092.45.
And what about the rest? When are you going to recover those?
Please, what we did was to set an overpayment recovery because these are military people. So their widows are on the payroll as is done. So they are being deducted 100% every month so that the recovery will be complete.
Auditors, could you confirm what they just said?
Honorable Chairman, they indeed have recovered an amount of 176,092.45. And then the remaining balance is 217,222.61, as indicated by them.
All right, Mr. Chairman. I'm done.
Let's go to the next one. Paragraph 102, which is also issue on salary, on earned salary, that the auditors noted that one Madam Alice Osenko how do you pronounce it? Is it Gogo? I think it's Gogo. With a staff number 106210, who retired in December 2020, was paid on earned salary of 5,592.52 pesos. Now, the auditors have recommended that recovery should be made and the money paid to the Auditor General Recovery Account. Have we been able to do so?
Honorable Chair, yes, indeed, we have done so.
Auditors, can you confirm?
Honorable Chair, confirmed.
All right, let's move to paragraph 104. This is on earned pension. A number of about 6 staff were involved, and the total amount paid to them is 171,474.79. Now, these people are on retirement, but you pay them to the tune of 171,000. The recommendation is that recovery of this amount with interest at the prevailing Bank of Ghana rate should be made from the beneficiaries of the deceased pensioners. Have we been able to recover this amount together with the interest from the beneficiaries?
Honorable Chair, we've written to the banks of the individuals concerned. In this matter, when we got the information, we stopped the pensions from being paid further. And so therefore, we've written to the banks so that when they respond to us, we will then know how to proceed. Yes, because there's one way we can do it. That's when the family submit a claim for when they submit a claim for death gratuity. And then there's another one where we can actually use the ability people can use the overpayment recovery issue to do that. So we are waiting for the true picture from the bank. Thank you.
The recommendation is that the Controller and Accountant General should ensure that the Municipal Treasury Director recovers the amount from the beneficiaries, not from the banks.
Yes,
from the beneficiary. Now you have written to the bank, leaving the beneficiaries. Why?
Honorable Chair, the pensions, the monies that are paid go to their individual banks. So we want to know the position from the banks before we take further action. Because in some instances, the money will be sitting in the bank and nobody would have gone for it. So we can easily ask the banks to return the money. So we need to know the true picture. So we are waiting.
You also said when you got the information, you stopped further payment.
Yes.
And wrote to the bank.
Yes, Chair.
Don't you have a mechanism as the manager of salaries that as soon as a person go on retirement or pension, the payment of salary should cease or stopped? Do you have a mechanism like that?
Yeah, Honorable Chair, this is for pensioners. And in their instance, we get information of somebody having being deceased from the family or the association. Okay. So what we get that information, normally it should not be instant. So it means that some months would have gone by.
So if you, who is working as a controller, you have all your staff all over the country, you're not aware that a pensioner has passed on, you continue to pay pension. But the auditor, who is just somebody who is coming to visit, gets to know that this pensioner has passed on. Do you appreciate that?
Yes, Honorable Chair. Well, the auditors are here, so I think they will answer to that. But basically,
the question is that the auditors were able to know that this pensioner has died. But you, who is making the payment, They didn't know.
Honorable Chair, excuse me. Well, what happens is that when we detect these things, when we detect that a pensioner...
You didn't detect this one. This one, the auditors drew your attention to it. You didn't detect it. They drew your attention to it.
Honorable Chair, what I'm saying is that in fact, the auditors took the information from our systems, what we had done concerning overpayments.
Okay.
So when the information comes to us, and then we take an initiative on that. But when they audit, they see the time lag, and then they report on that.
So if a pensioner pass on, and you are not informed by the relatives, you continue to pay that pensioner.
Honorable, we have instituted a measure where...
That is a measure I want you to tell the
yes,
committee.
Currently, on a quarterly basis, what we do is to do a validation of the pensioners with life certificates. And then also, we also have adopted a system where we want to, we go ourselves to do a check with the association. What we also want to do now is to see if we can engage the birth and death, so they can give us real-time information concerning every month, so that we can prevent these things.
Kofi?
Does your office has any obligations when a former staff pass on? Any obligations towards the funeral or anything like that?
Honorable Chair, I'm not too sure I understand the question.
There are some organizations when a former staff passes on, they'll pay some funeral contribution or something like that. Some welfare fund and things like that. Do you do something like that?
Honorable Chair, we have a welfare association. We have a welfare fund that caters for things like this nature.
Is it for that? Do pensioners also benefit?
Once somebody is on pension, I think that's the reason why we have the association. So they have to join the pensioners associations for their welfare.
So my question is, if staff at headquarters who are on pensions pass on, head office people don't get to know.
Honorable, can you clarify it?
First infraction was an M pensions by headquarters itself. The first instruction, paragraph 99. So I've seen a lot of this, and I was wondering whether, do you understand my question?
Yeah, Honorable, Mr. Chair, they are not our staff.
They are military.
Okay. All right, okay. All right. Thank you. I've got some clarification from my people. Thank you.
Honorable Isaac, before he comes.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, he indicated that they do validation of the pensioners every quarter. I want to know how that is done and how effective is the validation.
Honorable, this is, I used the wrong word, verification. So we've done an exercise in July and in August where pensioners are required to submit their number. They are supposed to come to the head office or to our various centers to indicate that they are alive. The last time we did an exercise like this was in August. We did July and then we did August, just to be sure that they are alive and therefore they need to be paid pensions.
If they fail to come, what happens?
Honorable Chair, at the end of the exercise, those we are not able to account for are deleted from the payroll.
So that if you are alive, you come back.
Honorable Kofi.
Well, Chairman, thank you very much. I was really going to ask a similar thing that Dr. Isaac Opoku has raised. But, Chairman, whilst we want them to protect the public purse, we must also be careful not to punish some of these pensioners so much in this validation exercise. Chairman, I have quite a number in my constituency who are in the remotest part of the constituency. And when asked to present themselves for validation, it becomes so difficult. Some of them, the pension is so little. So you must put in measures to make sure that such persons do not unnecessarily suffer. Yes, we want you to protect the public purse because you appear before us and ask you all these questions, but balance it in such a way that some of these genuine ones do not suffer unnecessarily.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Auditors, I think we have to monitor how the recovery of this money is done. And so take note of this and report back to the committee. At least within 2 weeks, we should know the effort that they have made, apart from writing to the banks. And let me ask, so if the banks refuse to respond to your letters, what will you do?
Mr. Chairman, I think in some of these things, your able committee should also be able to persuade or encourage the banks to respond to some of these letters, because the monies are paid through them. And so if for any reason letters have been written to you, they should also respond, just like they expect government to do it, but they also have to do their part, because certainly they are the conduits through which we pay all these monies to.
I think responding to letters in Ghana is a problem. In fact, your Ministry of Finance, you receive a lot of letters without responding to them. I'm telling you, when we go round, assemblies or agencies report to us that when they write to controller, they write to Ministry of Finance, they don't get feedback.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. For some of these things, you know, there are processes such that you can't write directly to Ministry of Finance with a particular concern. You have to go through your ministry, because if for any reason we have to, it has to do with budgets, we will have to take it from that ministry's budget. So if you write directly to Ministry of Finance asking for things in relation to monies that needs to be paid to you without recourse to your mother ministry, whose budgets will be touched, if anything like that will be done, certainly we'll have to send the letter back to your ministry or ask that write to your ministry.
Do you as a ministry reply the letter and give them what they should do, or you just snub the letter?
Mr. Chairman, in many instances, we draw their attention to it.
If that is the case, they will not be complaining to the committee.
Mr. Chairman, it's because they think writing directly to Ministry of Finance will solve their problem rather than going through their mother ministry, which is the process.
I'm saying that if
yes.
you've been replying their letters, they won't complain to us.
It is because, Mr. Chairman, they think that what they wanted to achieve with the letter hasn't been achieved.
Well, this is the observation that we have made.
But
so
we will take note of that and address that. Yeah. But we have been trying. Thank you.
All right, so we are encouraging the banks to reply to the letters written to them from Controller and Accountant General concerning the monies or the pensions that have been paid to the accounts of these beneficiaries. I'm sure the banks are watching or listening to us. They should reply the letter so the controller will know what to do after the receipt of their replies. All right, let's move on to paragraph 106. Honorable Bauer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Paragraph 106 is not different from what we've just discussed. And this time it's in relation to an earned pension of an amount of 166,795 for periods ranging between 3 to 14 months. There's a table where the beneficiaries of these amounts names have been posted. And the recommendation is that the Controller Accountant General should ensure that the Regional Director recovers the amount of 166,795.55 Ghana cedis with interest at the prevailing Bank of Ghana rates from the beneficiaries of the deceased pensioners. Can you bring us up to speed as to what you've done to this recommendation?
Honorable Chair, it's the same process as I explained earlier. We've stopped the monies from going again to the pensioners and relating to the banks. There's an additional measure that we've decided to take, which is that we don't want people to submit any letter of attorney or any letter that indicates that the pensioner is not well, so the person must be paid. What we want to do now is for us to confirm that the people can take the money, so that when monies go to the banks, families will not be able to go for them. Sometimes it's a bit difficult if they go for the money. So these are additional measures that we are taking. But as it is now, we've stopped the payments, and it's the same. We are waiting for the banks to respond.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to find out, when pensioners die, how do you identify their relatives or the beneficiaries of those who come for their monies?
Honorable Chair, when somebody dies, the family would inform the association or our offices. Now, if for whatever reason they are not able to inform us and they submit a claim at the bank, then the banks would inform us, or if they have taken the money, they will take action. But so that is the reason why we are asking the banks to collaborate with us to inform us as to whether monies have been taken or they are still in the till.
So my understanding is that this infraction you've not recovered, even not even a CD has been recovered.
An amount of 10,652.95 has. Yes.
Auditors, can you confirm?
Honorable Chairman, we don't have evidence to that.
We have the files here, so Chair, when we will show them to you. Okay.
How did you recover the 3,000? 10,000. How did you recover it? Deputy Controller, how did you recover the 10,000?
Honorable Chair, these are monies that the banks returned to us. These are monies that have been returned to us.
Is it based on the letters you wrote to the bank?
Yes. Honorable Chair, yes.
So it means that the banks are responding?
Yes, some of them. So, can I pass it?
How many banks responded? And how many banks did you write to?
Honorable Chair, I don't have the specifics.
Mr. Chairman, the other aspect was that the auditors were saying you should recover from the beneficiaries of the deceased persons. Have you written to the beneficiaries?
Mr. Chairman, they'll send a list of the banks they've written to. It's right here, so I've asked that they present it for you.
All right, so by close of day today, we want copies of the letters written to the bank. Furnish the committee with copies of the letters.
Yes, Chair.
The next one is on unremitted withheld taxes. So, an amount of 7,279.09 taxes were withheld by the secondary office, and but this money was not remitted to GRA, and GRA is here. See,
Mr. Chairman, please, are we done with controller?
No.
Okay.
It's part of controller one.
Okay.
This is the reason why GRA is not getting the needed revenue. They will deduct the money from the suppliers and keep it. So the instruction is that, or the recommendation is that the regional budget officer should ensure that the accountant pays the money to GRA. Has that been done?
Honorable Chair, it has been done.
Auditors, can you confirm?
Honorable Chair, confirmed.
All right. The last one for Controller and Accountant General, paragraph 111. Honorable Mutala.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, the infraction is overpayment of pension to one Elijah Ankra, who was a station officer, and a total amount of 32,620 Ghana cedis, 85 pesos, was paid to him. No, 66,000 to him when he 716. And the recommendation of the auditors is that the regional director recovers the total amount of 32,620 Ghana cedis. Has the monies been recovered? Has the monies been recovered?
Honorable Chair, this is a computation issue. The information came from fire service. There was a break in service for the man concerned, and so that should have been taken into consideration. But we didn't have the information at that time. So that's why there was a wrong computation. But I understand that he's deceased, so it's been difficult recovering the money.
Mr. Chairman, you are telling us two different things. Are you suggesting that this information was not made available to you until today? And if it was, why are you giving us this explanation now?
Honorable Chair, what I'm saying is that we get information, then we do the computation. This case is from the fire service. And so therefore, there was a break in service where the officer in charge, the officer took a leave without pay. And so we computed based on an unbroken service. So that is the reason why there was an error in the computation, because we later got to know that there was a break in service, so which means that that portion of his service should not have been paid.
Mr. Chairman, I am more confused with his explanation. The fact that the person is deceased, that's a different matter. But the person who was making the payment, was he not aware that that gentleman was no longer at post? And if he was he not aware the required amount of money he was supposed to pay him?
Honorable Chair, this is a gratuity matter, in which case the records are given to us, and based on that, we compute the number of years that the person served. But what I'm trying to say is that there was a break in service which was not taken into consideration as at the time, because we did not have the information. That's the reason why we have this error.
Mr. What I want to know is if Controller has their staff who are working with other agencies, don't they have a mechanism to ensure whether those people are at post, and if they are, what their gratuities are required to? Because I get the sense that you were not aware whether that person was still at post or he was required to be paid this amount of money. and for which reason those overpayments were made. I just want to know the mechanisms you have in place to track the services provided by your officers in those various ministries and other state agencies.
Honorable Chair, this is Cap 30, and we work with the security agencies to pay their pensions for them. So we rely on information from them. The military, the police, the fire service, the immigrations, prisons. So information they give us, that's what we used to work. So we are working in collaboration with them.
So I yield that to you.
I think the concern of the member is that, do you take any information provided by these agencies without double checking to be sure that this is the right information before you use it to do your computation?
Honorable Chair, if we have any reason to believe that the information given to us is not correct, we do that.
What happened in this case?
As I said, the error was coming from them, and we had no reason to believe that.
They brought you a wrong information.
Yes.
Which you didn't cross-check. If you have cross-checked, you would have known that this is not the right information. So you didn't cross-check. You use that information to do the computation and overpay the person. So the question is that, what do you do to ensure that any information you receive from these agencies to do your computation is the right information?
Honorable Chair, as I said, we rely on information from them, but we will do an extra, we will do an extra work on that.
And this one, you didn't do any extra work? This one, you didn't do any extra work. So the fault is coming from you. Because you are the government accountant. You must ensure that whatever I'm paying from government coffers is the right amount which the person is entitled. If you fail to do your work, you will be held responsible, because a lot of people would have brought you any information that will benefit them. It is your duty to cross-check and ensure that you don't overpay anybody.
The explanation that if you have any reason to doubt the information that is given to you, that is when you do the necessary double checking. Because your response was that you don't have any reason to doubt the information given to you. So the opposite of it is that if you have a reason to doubt the information given to you, perhaps you do the double checking. For me, Mr. Chairman, what is expected to be done going forward is that you don't just take any information that is given to you. You need to put in a mechanism to double check such information given to you. Because there isn't any standard by which you do the double checking. Maybe when it comes and you're in a good mood and you believe the information, okay, that information is right. The persons who are engaged or who are providing you the information themselves can be accomplices in some of these illegalities. So I would suggest that put in a mechanism that will double check these kinds of information that are given to you on matters such as this, because state money, the taxpayers' money, is being expended for that.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, these days, what we usually do is, when we receive the request from Ministry of Finance, we do the computation and then send to audit service for validation. That is what we do. We send to audit service, and audit service validates, brings it back to us before we send the final notice to Controller and Accountant General to do that, to pay. So audit service validates officers who are entitled to gratuities. Comes to Ministry of Finance, we do our computation, we send to them, they validate. Once they bring it to us, we see it as a second pair of we take it as a second pair of eyes has looked at it, and so then we can send to Controller. And so that is what
Chairman, then this one, there wasn't any validation. It's an admission that there wasn't any validation.
Yes, I'm saying that moving forward, that is what, this is 2022, but that is what we've been doing now. Any officer who has served in the public service, once they write to Ministry of Finance for their payment of their gratuities, we compute, do the computation, and then send to audit service for validation. Yes.
My point is that I was suggesting that if there wasn't any mechanism put in place to ensure that this validation is done, you are providing information to the committee that there is already a process by which you ensure that the information given to you is accurate. There is an infraction. Overpayment has been made. Am I getting the sense that there wasn't any validation done on this?
Yes. Mr. Chairman, the controller has stated that clearly with this one, there wasn't any validation done. But I'm telling you that
they need to pay the money.
Officers moving forward, this is what we have put in place.
Chairman, then they need to pay the money.
Certainly, the audit service has provided the way forward, and so they will have to abide by that.
Exactly. If you read the recommendation, paragraph 113 of the reports, the auditor says that we recommended that the controller and accountant general should ensure that the regional director recovers the amount with interest at the Bank of Ghana prevailing rates from Mr. Elijah Ankra, failing which the amount should be recovered from the regional director. Now, the regional director has failed to recover the money from Mr. Elijah Ankra. So this committee is upholding the recommendation of the Auditor General that the regional director for Western Region, Controller and Accountant General should recover or should refund, not recover, should refund, because he failed to recover the money from Ms. Ankra, should refund the 32,620 Ghana cedis, 85 pesos, with interest at the prevailing Bank of Ghana rates to government chest. Clerk, take note. Auditors, take note. That's the committee's position on your recommendation. So that'll be all for controller.
Yes.
Controller is discharged.
But Mr. Chairman, just to put on the table that this incident happened in 2017. So like I said, moving forward, this is what we have put in place to make sure.
So 2017.
Yes. Well, we are working with 2022 reports.
Yes. No, I'm only putting on record that moving forward, this is what we've done. And the audit service is here to validate what I said, that we send letters to them with the computation, and then they validate, send the letter back to us, and the Ministry of Finance gives controller the go-ahead to do it. So my colleague on the other side suggested that we do something, and I was just putting on record that this is what we have been doing moving forward.
That mechanism came after 2017. Is that what you are suggesting?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
All right, now let's go to GRA now. Controller Accountant General, your discharge. So let's have Ghana Revenue Authority. Kindly introduce yourselves to the committee.
Good morning, Honorable Chairman. My name is Amishadai Owusu Amwa, the Commissioner General. I have with me the other three commissioners, so they will also introduce themselves. We'll start from the Commissioner for Customs.
Mr. Chairman, I'm Saidu Drisu, Commissioner Customs. Mr. Chairman, my name is Edward Apinti Jamra, in charge of Domestic Tax Revenue Division.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. I'm Julie Essiem, Commissioner, Support Services.
All right, thank you very much for coming. You have a number of issues, not as much as before.
Before, I just wanted to say thank you to the committee and the audit service, because consistently our appearance here has seen a huge reduction in the infraction of GR in the systems that we have put in place.
You like taking credit, pal.
No, Mr. Chairman, like I said to you, that the committee and audit service and also the systems that we have put in place, because you keep on helping us to see how best we can reduce the leakages in the tax management system, so that we can rake in the needed revenue for the country. And so for that, we are grateful. We know that we need to do more than what we are doing, but with the support of all stakeholders here, I know that there will come a time that clearly the infractions will be reduced to the barest minimum. So thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
All right. I hope that as the number of infractions have reduced, the quantum also reduced. You can have few, but the quantum could be high. So I hope. That is what I said. I haven't done the competition. That is what I said. I hope. So you leave it. You leave it. Let's leave it.
Thank you. Chairman, the infractions are here, so maybe we can go to the infractions and then not listen to
leave that one to us. Leave that one to us. All right, let's start with the first one, paragraph 114. Honorable Kofi Adams.
Chairman, thank you very much. Reverend Amish Shaddai, you are welcome.
Thank you very much, Honorable.
Commissioner, Domestic Tax Revenue Division, the auditors asked that you see to recovery of some outstanding taxes due the state. The amount involved here is 161,665,805 Ghana cedi 36 pesos, and the taxpayers involved is 5,692. What has happened to these monies? Have you been able to retrieve all?
Thank you very much, Honorable Member, Chairman. The Commissioner Domestic will answer the question.
Mr. Chair, thank you very much. Mr. Chair, the issue at stake, we have the dollar component, which is 44,816. That has been fully recovered. Now, the CD component, Mr. Chairman, we've recovered 76.4% of that. And the breakdown of the 76.4 is as follows. We've done a full recovery of 97,651,172.4. Objection determined 9335484, and returns filed and examined 14,905,665.55. So currently we have a standing of 39,773. Honorable Chair, out of this 39,773, we have amount which is owed by defunct financial institutions to the tune of 92182568.61, and I've given the list of the defunct financial institutions that are currently owing us. Mr. Chair, let me say that we have written to the receiver to pay us this money, as we have the first right if the receiver get any money from these companies. and we are yet to receive from the receiver. With the closing balance, Mr. Chairman, of about 30.4 million, we're doing a number of enforcement actions, which include third-party data notices, seal-off. We're doing garnishment and others to ensure that we retrieve this money to the state. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. I wish you had mentioned the amount the way we can easily appreciate, but we can carry on. You indicated that you wrote to the receiver. Please, when was this done?
Mr. Chair, thank you very much. Mr. Chair, for the receiver, these liabilities started way back 2021. We've been written several letters to the receiver, but the recent one was done in January 2024. Thank you. That was the reminder. Thank you.
So can we get the first and the recent one that you just did? Can you submit the very first and the most recent to the committee?
Honorable, yes, we can produce that for you.
I only would want to encourage you to push further, because we really have a lot that we can already collect, and when we see evidence like this, then it gives indication that we don't need to be adding new taxes, because there's so much that we can collect from the already existing ones. Mr. Chairman, I think that should be all for them. But I've requested for some documents, the first and the last letter to the receivers, to help us.
All right, so it means that the cost of the decision to the banking sector cleanup, there's a cost to it. It's even affecting the government itself. That is why the defunct bank cannot pay their taxes to government. Honorable Deputy Minister, will you agree with me that the decision to clean the banks has a cost to us also, apart from what the Minister of Finance will come and tell Parliament, we spend this amount of money. The revenue inflow, which is not coming, is also cost to us. Do you agree with me?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, there are two things here. The fact that government was able to save depositors' money.
You can answer my question, then you add up with your...
Yeah, that's because you see that as a cost, but for the depositors who had their monies in there, they needed to get their money, so government had to intervene. In everything that we do here, it comes with a cost.
Okay, you have answered my question.
But
that there is a cost to what you have done. We have done. There is a cost.
Our citizens better. Then you take that bold
decision. Who told you that those of us who had money there were not getting our money? Who told you?
Me. Mr. Chairman, respectfully.
I was getting my money.
Mr. Chairman, respectfully, we have colleagues here.
They have not been paid.
Who had their money
Honorable
there.
Abina,
yes.
Honorable Abina.
Yes.
Honorable Dr. Isaac Opoku.
Yes.
You just said that the depositor money which have been...
I said needed to be protected, Mr. Chairman. Not all the banks have received their money because some are in court.
He still hasn't received his money.
Mr. Chairman, because some of the banks have taken government to court, and we all know this is a house of laws.
Paragraph 117.
You cannot talk about it, Mr. Chairman. So respectfully, that is the situation. Thank
Chairman,
you.
let me seek permission and congratulate Abina. You've done very well. I know what you went through. I mean, knowing your interests and the kind of ambush that they wanted to take you through. I congratulate you. Yes. And then to my former boss, Reverend Dr. You're welcome. I work with him at Unibank. Yeah, so the infraction here has to do with outstanding pay as you earn, and here it relates to an amount of 157,645,582 Ghana cedi, and then in dollar terms, there's another figure which is 2,509,578. By law, employers are supposed to withhold this money and remit same to GRA. But for the year 2021, some people failed to remit this money to GRA. And so auditors are asking you to retrieve the said amount that I've mentioned. How far with the retrieval of these monies?
Thank you, Honorable Member, and thanks also for welcoming me. The Commissioner Domestic will take this question. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, the dollar component has been recovered fully. And for the cedi component, Mr. Chair, let me say that as I have always been explaining to this House, the business we do has to do with assessment, collection, and collection. And with the collection, we always have tax debts. But what is important is how do we enforce this tax debt? How are we pursuing the tax debt for the state? So for us to have no tax debt in any calendar year is not going to happen anyway. So I would just want to put this on record, because you have instances where taxpayers may have cash flow challenges. And when there's cash flow challenges, what do you do? So tax debt is part of the business that we do as Revenue Authority. And I think, Mr. Chairman, you are much aware of this. So on the substantive issue, as I said, the dollar component has been recovered. With the cedi component, Mr. Chair, we've resolved 81.56% of that. The outstanding one, again, which is 29 million, we have 19.6 out of the 29 million relating to 17 of the defunct financial institutions. So for them, again, it's the same process that we are taking to recover that. The receiver has been written to and expecting that when they recover money from these institutions, GRA should be paid first. Now for the outstanding ones, we're using our enforcement tools to ensure that we recover them. And I've already mentioned the enforcement tools that we deploy to enforce tax collection. Thank you, Chairman.
Yeah, so you say that the dollar component has been retrieved.
Has been recovered.
Has been recovered.
Yeah,
whatever terminology you want to use.
Yeah.
Now, the recommendation is that you do that together with the appropriate penalties under Section 71 of the Revenue Administration Act. And I've just cross-checked the Act. And the 71 suggests that it should come with interest. Are you saying that the dollar component that you say you have recovered comes with some interest?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, the 71 you quoted is very, very clear in the Revenue Administration Act. Once tax is owed and you are to pay to the state, you pay with interest. So we recover all tax debt with interest unless there is a dispensation to waive interest, just as we had from 2020 to 2022.
So the answer is that you recover with interest?
Yes, we recover with interest. Thank you.
Mr.
Yeah,
Chairman,
so the... Okay.
Sorry if I can add, as we progress, you will find other areas that where interest was waived, we will indicate it clearly that interest was waived in line with the what was passed by Parliament, the dispensation.
It also suggests that the 81.5% that you have recovered also came with interest. Is that the case?
Mr. Chair, yes, please.
Now, you indicated that out of the 29 million, 19 is also attributed to the different banks. Then it means that we have some 10 million left. When do you intend to, or when are you likely to recover this? Any timelines?
Mr. Chair, as I indicated, we're using our enforcement tools to collect them. These are overdue debts, so we do garnishment, we do tax third-party recovery. So the process is ongoing. Now, is ongoing. We can't give you updated recovery as and when we recover from the...
My last point is that one of the principles of taxation by Adam Smith is that there should be economy. Now, the amount of money you are using, the task forces that you are using to recover this money, have you just supposed that against the outstanding balance? Thank you.
Mr. Chair, yes. I think in all the work that we do, and GRA is giving a percentage to do our work, and that percentage is, that amount is what is used in dealing with all the work that we do, including collection of tax debts. Thank you.
I said my last one, but this is the very last one. And that has to do with, you said you use tools like garnishing of... Under what circumstances will you do this? Because just recently, my district assembly accounts was garnished. And it was very, very difficult for us to transact business there.
What was the garnishment?
Yeah, by GRA. By GRA.
Yes. So, Mr. Chair, for anyone, any person, if you are owing GRA, you are expected to pay. If you find out that you are not paying, but you have someone who is keeping money for you, we can now write to that person to order the person to pay the money directly to Ghana Revenue Authority. So in this particular case, your district assembly may be owing Ghana.
That's the Bola District Assembly.
Yes.
To be specific.
So if the district assembly is owing the Ghana Revenue Authority, the Commissioner General has the power to write to the bank that your assembly is having account to pay any money that is in it to the Commissioner General to defray the tax debt. That is the power that Commissioner General has.
So assuming the office of the president owes tax, is the GRA able to use same process to garnish the accounts?
Irrespective of the person, we use the same tools to recover.
We are watching.
Well, auditors, can you confirm what the commissioner said?
Honorable Chair, as indicated, the dollar component has been fully recovered. Then with the CD component, an amount of 126.4 million recovered. The objection determined is 1.8 million. Then we have the returns filed and determined 283,000. So the balance left is 29 million as they indicated.
Okay, thank you. Paragraph 120, Honorable Aka.
No. Thank you very much, Chairman. Paragraph 120. 820 companies failed to withhold taxes amounting to 96 million. And the details are there. I would like to know if you have been able to collect these taxes. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, thank you very much. Mr. Chair, out of the amounts we've resolved 61.1% of that. And that has to do with what we have recovered, objection determined, and penalties and interest waived. The outstanding we have currently is 37.4 million. Mr. Chair, out of this 37.4 million, 23 is owed by Millicom. And in the case of Millicom, they disputed. We took the matter to court. Court ruled in our favor. They have also appealed. And the matter is currently before court, and we're waiting for a determination by the court on the 2nd of February. And that is 23.8 million out of the 37. 7.7 of this amount is also owed by 19 defined financial institutions. And Mr. Chair, I've explained that one. The outstanding balance, Mr. Chair, we're using the same enforcement tools to recover. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You're saying that Millicom owes about 37.4 million. Is that correct?
23, Mr. Chair.
23.
Yes, sir.
And then court ruled in your favor. Have they taken the matter back to court?
Yes, they've appealed. And we are waiting for the court to make a determination on the 2nd of February, which is this week.
All right. Auditors, can you please confirm all the figures that they've quoted? Thank you.
Honorable Chair, we can confirm that the assertion is accurate.
Thank you, Chairman.
Yeah, so kindly share the outcome of the court ruling. That comes 2nd February. That's coming this Friday. Kindly share the outcome with us so that we'll know if you'll be recovering that 23 million from the company.
Mr. Chair, noted. We'll do that.
Paragraph 123, Honorable Chinia.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman. The auditors reviewed traders' files. The number of traders involved is 2,557, and in about 18 of your tax offices, and observed that some outstanding amount of 377,319.69 Ghana cedis was owed by these 2,557 traders. The auditors have recommended that the Domestic Tax Revenue Division should ensure that the head of the various centers, that means the 18 centers, recovers these monies. Has that been done? Have you recovered the money?
Mr. Chairman, partly. We've recovered, we've resolved 60, we've recovered 60.6 million, and objection determined 25.1, penalties and interest waived, and return files determined. And we have outstanding of 275.4 million. Mr. Chair, out of this 275 million, 246 are being contested. 247.7 is being contested by 3 companies. Millicom, I've mentioned the earlier one, Federated Commodities, and PBC. Mr. Chair, in respect of Federated Commodity and PBC, it has to do with VAT on haulage of cocoa, which they are contesting in court. So we're waiting for the determination of the court, and the court has adjourned to 26th of February. And when it's determined that they are liable to pay, we will enforce collection. So that is the situation of the 247.7 million that is owed by these three companies. Mr. Chair, the outstanding balance of 27.6 million, we're employing the same enforcement tools to collect them. Thank you.
Auditors, can you confirm the narration he has just given?
Honorable Chair, as indicated, the amount recovered is 60.6 million. The objection determined is 25.1 million. Penalties and interest waived is 380,000. Then we have returns filed and determined is 13,000. So the outstanding is 275,443,368.13.
But he says that part of that outstanding amount is being contested. Has that been brought to your notice?
Yes.
Okay. Chairman, thank you.
Why are these companies contesting this? Because for this particular year, there are a lot of issues being contested in court. Is there any reason for that?
Mr. Chair, it is their right.
No, I know it's their right.
Yeah.
Comparing the number of cases you have in court now with the past, I'm saying that now the amount being contested is so huge. Is there any reason why that you're having these cases in court?
Mr. Chair, as to the reason why we are having the cases in court, I think that will, the taxpayers will have to explain. But for us, we think we are right in raising this assessment, and we have the law on our side. But as I indicated, taxpayers have the right also to challenge the Commissioner General's position. So if they feel that the interpretation that has been given by the Commissioner General is not as per the law, okay, taxpayers have the right to challenge. And once they go to court, we leave that one for the court to decide.
So, per your assessment, are you hopeful that the case will go in your favor?
Mr. Chair.
Are you hopeful?
Yeah, very, very, very. We are hopeful that we're going to win this case.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ranking.
Thank you, Chairman. This 247 million, how many companies are involved?
Mr. Chair, three.
Three. And
I think I mentioned them. So for your information, this is in court, so I can mention the names. Millicom Ghana for the VAT 12.9, Federated Commodity 30.8, and PBC Produce Buying Company 203.9 million, making up the 247.
So are they contesting, for instance, PVC, are they contesting the whole amount or portions of it?
Mr. Chair, they are contesting the whole amount. I think it has to do with the interpretation of a provision.
Okay.
For PBC and Federated Commodity, it has to do with whether they are liable to pay VAT on haulage. Okay. That is what they are contesting. They are of the view that they are not liable, but we think that they are also providing service, and as a result, they are required to charge VAT on the service.
Okay, thank you.
This is the main issue that is contested. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Have you towed their vehicles from the PBC? I saw some picture on the social media that some of their vehicles are being towed. Is that GRA towing their vehicles?
Mr. Chair, no.
Okay.
Our matter is in court.
Okay.
So we are not enforcing any.
Then there is another creditor who is pray that after the determination of the case, you have some of the assets left to fall on. Honorable Isaac.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, I wanted to find out, this is 2021, 22, yes. I want to find out, in the past, were you charging VAT on haulage?
I think we should leave that one to the court. Those are the arguments they will make in court. Paragraph 126, Honorable Ajay Boateng.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Paragraph 126 has to do with outstanding rent tax amounting to 472,582. And these were in respect of 157 properties. And 10 tax offices were not able to collect those monies. So the auditors recommended that the Commissioner, Domestic Tax Revenue Division, was to ensure that the amounts were pursued and collected together with the appropriate penalties. So can we be told whether those monies have been covered?
Mr. Chair, 68.37% of the issue has been resolved. And it has been resolved in this way. Recovery 242 and returns filed and determined 80.1. The outstanding amount is 149.4 million. Mr. Chair, out of this amount, some of them we're going to reverse it for a simple reason that these properties are no longer rented. They are now owner-occupied. So we are reviewing it to determine the assessment. The remaining 59.8, we are employing the same tools to recover the outstanding liability. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Auditors, can you confirm what you've said for us?
Honorable Chair, the amount recovered is 242,979. The returns filed and determined is 80,000, and then the outstanding balance is 149,473.
Chairman, that will be all for me.
Next one, paragraph 129, Honorable Adumako Kisi.
Thank you, Chairman. This has to do with outstanding return checks, amount totaling 4,386,570 Ghana cedis. And there's a list of 13 entities that had their checks returned. Please, what's the status on this?
Mr. Chair, thank you very much. Mr. Chair, what we do is that when checks are returned, we restate the liability. So the liability is restored and use the collection to enforce it. Mr. Chair, let me say that for this outstanding return checks, we've been able to recover 3.4 million out of the 4.3, an outstanding of which translate to 77.3%. We have an outstanding 940,000. Mr. Chair, let me say that return checks used to be one of the challenges that we were facing as authority. And since July 2021, when the cashless policy was introduced. This is no longer in existence. What we're discussing here has to do with the period before the introduction of the cashless policy. So as we speak now, when we do an audit going forward, we are not expecting any return checks in January again, thanks to the cashless policy that we have. Thank you very much.
All right, next one, paragraph 132. Unpaid communication service tax, 2.448 million Ghana cedis. So one, that is Sweet Melodies FM Limited and Kenneth owe communication service tax to the tune of 2.2 million for Sweet Melodies FM and 200,000 for Kenneth. You are to recover the money from them with appropriate penalties under Section 71 of the Revenue Administration Act. Have we been able to do so?
Mr. Chairman, can I first, before I respond, let me correct some anomaly here. 71 deals with interest. So interest on overdue. So I think it's a typo here. It should read.
Well, if 71 deal with interest on overdue,
yeah,
these amounts are also overdue.
Mr. Chair, so we collect the debt with interest. The one relating to KNet is fully recovered. Now, the Sweet Melody FM is contesting the assessment that we raised regarding assessment on communication service tax. So currently, the authority is engaging the Ghana Independent Broadcasting Association to address the issue. It has to do with the interpretation of the CST Act as to whether they are reliable or not. So a team has been set up and we are reviewing it to see whether they are reliable or not. When a determination is made, then we will enforce the liability. Thank you, Chair.
So how come the auditors are saying that they are responsible?
Mr. Chair, I think the audit raised the assessment our audit raised the assessment. Then the taxpayer objected that per their interpretation of the CST Act, they are not reliable. And that is the bone of contention now, which we're trying to determine whether...
But you also have lawyers who interpret the law at GRA. What did the lawyers tell you?
Yeah, we are in sync with the lawyers. And
you didn't answer my question. What did the lawyers tell you? Are they...
They have the view that we are right.
You are right, okay.
Yes,
yeah. Did you earlier said KNet has paid?
Mr. Chair, yes.
So, is a Sweet Melody that is contesting?
Yes. Yeah. They are contesting aspect of, for them, they think that they're free to air. They are not part of companies liable to pay the communication service tax. But for the for the other company, KNet, they've accepted the liability and paid.
All right, so when will that committee finish work?
Mr. Chair, by the 15th of February, we should be able to deal with this issue.
Is that the deadline you're giving them, the committee?
Yes.
Are you sure you have given the committee a deadline?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Are you sure you have given the committee a deadline?
Yes.
Who are the members of the committee?
If the chair is here, Mr. Daniel DC is the chairman of the committee dealing with the CST issue. So you can. If you want
I wouldn't want to push you further. So, all right. So let's move to paragraph 135. Honorable Sophia.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Paragraph 135 has to do with outstanding national fiscal stabilization levy. The auditors are saying that they noted that an amount of 693,275.75 has not been paid. And the names of the company are Ascent Financial Services Limited, All Time Finance Limited, CBL Investment Service Limited, CDA Savings and Loans Company Limited, Legacy Capital Savings and Loans, Midland Savings and Loans Limited. And all this amounted to 693,275.75. The auditors recommend that the Commissioner DTRD should recover the outstanding amount from the financial institutions together with appropriate penalties under Section 71 of the Revenue Administration Act. What do you have to tell the committee on this? Have they recovered the money?
Mr. Chairman, we've not been able to resolve this. As this liability relates to defunct financial institutions. So all the financial institutions that you mentioned are part of the distress financial. So what we've done is also giving letter to the receiver to pay this liability if money is recovered for them.
But have you been following from the receivers?
Yes.
And what is the response from the receivers?
Mr. Chair, as I indicated earlier, we've written number of letters, and the last reminder was sent on the 16th of January 2024. So
how long was the last letter sent to them?
How long? The recent one was 16th January.
16th January?
Yes, please.
Just recently?
Yes. I think Honorable has requested for copies, so we'll give you copies. It has to do with all the liabilities that they are owing.
Do you have the copies here?
Yes. Here, no, but we can give the committee a copy.
Chairman, I think I'll leave this one for you too. Oh.
Paragraph 138. The auditors noted that during the audit of debtors record of Ghana Revenue Authority at Swami Tax Service Center, 13 companies and individuals owe the state an amount of 837,872 Ghana cedis in respect of corporate income taxes. Now, the auditors have recommended that the Commissioner Domestic Tax Revenue Division should ensure that the head of the tax center recovers the amount from the companies and the individuals, and then also apply the sanction under Section 71 of the Revenue Act. Can you update the committee if you were able to recover the amount?
Mr. Chair, thank you very much. Mr. Chair, as we speak 99.4% of the issue has been resolved. We've recovered 488.1 million, objection determined 122, and penalty and interest waived 232. The outstanding balance currently is 5,052.
Can you give me the figure again? You recover how much?
488.1. Objection determined 1.
488.
Yeah, honorable, yes.
Okay, 488.
1.
Objection
determined 112.1. Penalties and interest waived 232.5.
Okay.
So we have outstanding amount payable of 5,052 Ghana cedi. Honorable, we are also employing the relevant enforcement action to collect the outstanding liability of 5,000. Thank you.
All right, auditors, can you confirm this?
Your Honorable Chair, we can confirm the figures that he has mentioned.
All right, let's go to paragraph 141. Honorable Dakwa.
Thank you, Chairman. So paragraph 141 has to do with outstanding tax liabilities, and the Auditor General noted that 43 companies and individuals owed the state taxes amounting to 6.5 million Ghana cedis. And this is in respect of corporate and income taxes for the period January 2010 to May 2022. The auditor recommended that the Commissioner DTRD should ensure that the head of the tax center recovers the outstanding amounts. Has this been done, please?
Mr. Chair, 74.61% of the issue resolved. And it's resolved as follows. Recoveries, 3.2. Objection determined 276. Penalty and interest waived 1.1 million. We currently have outstanding liability of 1.88. Mr. Chair, we're using the same enforcement tools to recover the outstanding balance. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Chairman.
Auditors, can you confirm?
Honorable Chair, confirmed.
Okay, paragraph 143. Unrecovered tax arrears, 50,176. The auditors noted that 20 companies and individuals owe an amount of 50,176 at Doma Ahinkro in respect of corporates and income taxes as at 31st December 2021. The recommendation is that the Commissioner, DTRD, should ensure that the head of the tax center recovers the amount from the companies and the individuals and apply the sanction under Section 71. The Commissioner, can you update the committee on this?
Chairman, thank you very much. Mr. Chair, we've recovered 11,000 Ghana cedi. Objection determined 13,000, and returns filed and determined 18,000, making up 85.33% of the issue resolved. Mr. Chair, the outstanding balance of 7,362.5 relates to businesses that are folded up, and various visits to such companies indicate that they are no longer in business. So we have this is the situation of this outstanding liability, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
So, did you apply the Section 71?
Mr. Chair, as I indicated, 71 is a must once you owe, and the penalty interest is charged on the outstanding liability.
Okay, so we'll do some computation. What is the interest rate you applied?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, 71 is very clear. It talks about the Bank of Ghana rate
interest rate.
Plus.
So in this case, what was the rate that you applied?
Mr. Chair, it depends the time of...
but give me an average of what you applied.
Mr. Chair, you use the Bank of Ghana rate discount rate.
Just give me the average of the period that you did a recovery.
Okay, so I have to get the details of the recovery date. Then I'll be able to get you the interest rate that was applied.
All right, okay. You recover 11,000, right?
Yes.
Then 13,000 is what?
13,000 is in respect of objection determined. Then
objection determined.
Returns filed and determined.
So 11 plus 13.
Yeah.
Then 18,000 is what?
Returns filed and determined.
So plus 18, 18,000. That gives you 42,000 plus the outstanding 7,362. 7,362. That gives you 49,362. So if you apply the interest on what you recover, which is 11,000, I expect that the total of what we have put together should be more than 50,176. But why is it up to only 49,000?
Mr. Chair, when we responding to this, we only respond to the principal amount that the auditors raise. But the principal amount paid is always inclusive of the interest. So if it is your decision that we report the principal plus the interest, that can be done. And in that case, it will be more than the total liability that has been stated.
So the 11,000 you reported on us recovered is only the principal.
Thank you. That is the principal.
So my question is that the total of all you have told us is only 49,000. It's not up to the 50,000. Why? All right, let's move on. Paragraph 146, Honorable Isaac Opoku. Doc.
Thank you, Chairman.
I think if you do the addition, if you add the full amount, you get a 50. So if you do...
Okay, let's do it again. 11,000.
11,374.
No, you mentioned 11,000.
No, I said 11.3.
Everybody in the hall here had 11,000. So I wrote it down. I wrote 11,000. Then 13,000, I wrote it. Then 18,000, I wrote it.
Okay. Actually, I was running up the numbers. So if I give you the full numbers, you get 50,000.
All right. Okay.
Thank you.
Paragraph 146, Honorable Isaac.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, Ghana Revenue Authority, Asenkregua Office, and the infraction is outstanding corporate taxes. 16 companies owned the state's corporate taxes amounting to 683,725 Ghana cedis for the 2020 and 2021 years of assessment. So we want to find out what is the updates on this tax outstanding? Have you been able to recover the amount as recommended by the auditors?
Mr. Chair, 92.12% resolved. And
92.12%
resolved. And this resolved in this way. Recoveries. So for Chairman's sake, I will call the four numbers now. Yes. So recoveries 327,827.29. Objection determined 302,043.92. Outstanding balance 53,853.76. Mr. Chair, the outstanding relates to businesses that have closed and not operating in the Asankregua jurisdiction. And we've done a lot of field visits, and the field visit has confirmed that these businesses are no more in operation, and which is making recovery of this liability a big challenge. Thank you. And we've submitted evidence to the auditors. Thank you very much.
May we know which of the 16 are no longer operating?
Mr. Chair, I will produce it to you.
You don't have the
list?
The list.
I don't have it now, but I'll submit it to the committee.
Okay. But, just a moment. Chairman, before I hand over, company number 6, auditors, Hacks Ghana Limited. They fully discharged their tax obligation in 2021. I'm wondering why have you still captured them, in your table? Is it 2020? No, 2020, it wasn't fully discharged. But 2021, the 13,000, they paid all. So why this here? Yeah, true, Chairman. 2020, they still owe 3,000. But 2021, the assessment was 13,000, and they paid all. Why have they still captured them? Just for. Oh, Chairman.
Auditors, any response?
Yeah, Honorable Chair, we have for 2020 and 2021. Now, for the 2020, there's an outstanding balance of 3,000. But when you check for 2021, all the amount has been paid. So on the outstanding column, there is no amount there, which means that the entire amount has been cleared.
His question is that 2021, they fully paid. Why did you provide that information in the report? Should have captured only 2020. Because if you watch the rest, it is only those that have some outstanding taxes that you captured. So 2021, that information is not relevant, according to him.
Mr. Chair, we've noted it.
Okay. Honorable Apak.
Thank you, Chairman. This is just to seek clarification. You quoted some of the figures and you said objection determined. What is the implication of that? Because not everybody is savvy in your area of expertise. So what does it mean when you say objection determined?
Mr. Chair, thank you very much. I'll explain, but we thought that this terminology is known to this House. Okay.
No, but you are speaking to the whole country.
Okay.
Not only the committee members.
Okay. So, objection determined. When assessment is raised, one of the rights of the taxpayer is to accept, object, and accept or object. So when you object, we set up a committee to look at the case and see whether the assessment, your case, it has merit or not. So when a determination is made, in some instances, the determination will reduce your liability, increase your liability, or affirm the liability. So where the determination reduces your liability, then we have to reduce the assessment that has been given. So that is what we indicate here as objection determined. In this case, we have determined the objection and in favor of the taxpayer, and has reduced the liability. Thank you.
Very well.
Thank you very well. Let's go to paragraph 149, non-recovery of overdue debts. 95,754 Ghana cedis. The auditors noted that the Asankragua office failed to commence distress action on 3 companies who owed a total amount of 95,753.92 for the 2020 and 2021 years of assessment. Now, the recommendation by the auditors is that the Commissioner, DTRD, should ensure that the head of the tax office uses legal means to recover the outstanding liability together with appropriate sanction under Section 71 of the Revenue Administration Act. Commissioner, can you tell the committee if you have complied with this recommendation?
Chairman, yes, we have complied. We've recovered 28,152 out of the outstanding liability. And we have outstanding of 67.
Kindly speak to the mic a little bit so that we can hear you well.
Okay. Thank you, Chair. Chair, we've recovered 28,152,000 out of the 95,753 liability. And Mr. Chair, the outstanding balance, we are using our enforcement tools to collect them. This has to do with the issue relating to taxpayers in rural areas. And it's one of the challenges that we have doing rural taxation. Some of them, in some instances, you go, the shop has been closed and so forth. So we are on it to ensure that we collect the 67,000 outstanding to the state. Thank you, Chair.
Auditors, can you confirm that some recovery has been made?
Honorable Chair, the amount recovered is 28,152.09, leaving a balance of 67,601.83.
Commissioner, what are those tools that you are using for the rural taxpayers?
Mr. Chair, for debt recovery in the rural areas, apart from the normal enforcement tools like garnishment and others, we use visitation a lot. You know, officers visit the business premises of these taxpayers to ensure whether they are operating. So, and seal off is also one of the tools that we use mainly in the rural areas, which works for us. So, mainly these are the two main ones that we use in enforcing tax debt in the rural areas. Thank you.
Do you have separate laws for the rural taxpayer?
Mr. Chair, no. I think it's one of the issues that we're considering simplification of our tax laws. So we'll deal with the informal sector and the big ones. Currently, as a country, we have only one law dealing with all sectors. And it's an issue that the ministry is taking up. I think Madam can speak to that. And we need the support of all of us to come up with the simplified tax laws to deal with the informal sector. Thank you.
All right. Honorable Deputy Minister, this is what is coming out of this committee hearing, and I think you should take note of that. The next one is paragraph 152. Uncollected taxes, 2.483 million. So the auditors say that the Kufuria Tax Office, about 230 selected taxpayer files disclosed that 97 companies and 133 self-employed persons owe company income tax to the tune of 1.188 million and personal income tax of 1.294 million. Now you are to recover the money from these defaulters. Have you done so?
Mr. Chairman, we've recovered 232,166 out of the amount.
Only 232,000?
Mr. Chair, yes.
Out of 2.483 million? This one percentage is like 2 or 3%. What is the percentage? You are mentioning percentage in the previous ones. This one, what is the percentage?
Mr. Chair, it's about, it's less than 10%. It's about 9.5%.
9.5?
Yeah.
132,000.
The challenge with this one, Mr. Chair, is that, as I indicated, this has to do with rural taxation. And the visits to the business operations of these businesses indicate that taxpayers that are owing about 1.7 of this liability have closed down their businesses. So, and in fact, this is Kofodia, and Kofodia stretches to Donkokrom and all the environs. So it's a rare rural tax issue. And some of these businesses, they open today, tomorrow they are not there. And that is amounting to about 1.7 out of that. The remaining one, which is enforceable is 539, which we are using our tools to collect. Thank you.
So are you of the view that the 1.7 million cannot be collected because the companies have followed up?
Mr. Chair, we don't write off the debt, but we keep it in view. When the promoters of the business resurface, we enforce.
What if they resurface in a different name? With a covered face?
Thankfully, Mr. Chair, because of the unique identification that we are using, if you even form a different company, we will be able to identify you. So if you close your company today and form another one, because of the unique identification number, you can still be identified by the Ghana Revenue Authority. Thank you. So nobody can hide if you are owing us. You better come, own up, and come and pay.
Okay.
Because definitely you'll be caught one day.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What you say?
Chairman, some clarification. What he's saying is that even when companies close down, there is no way you write them off your books. And that, in as long as, you continue to monitor. At what point do you think it will be unnecessary for you to continue to monitor? Because monitoring means you are consuming time, you are using resources. And so we should have a clear-cut decision as to when you will stop pursuing these collapsed companies. If not, it won't be economical.
Mr. Chairman, it's a very important and good question. We have actually come out with some sort of criteria, something similar to what the banks do, and we have discussed at the board meeting. We are yet to be able to table it to bring it to Parliament for a Parliament to consider, to the Ministry, and then finally to Parliament to consider, because we think that, like you rightly said, at some point we should be able to look at the sort of resources that are going to it and be able to say these ones are too expensive to collect, and then one day if something comes up, we can look at it. So there's a paper that is currently ongoing, and we will be passing it to the Ministry, and if they are okay with it, we'll be presenting to Parliament.
Will you consider factors such as the amount of the liability involved?
Yes, so we're looking at the amount, we are looking at how long it has stayed, we are looking at the situation of the taxpayer. There are a number of factors that we are taking into consideration. In fact, it's a paper that is a work in progress.
So, Mr. Chairman, we'll be happy with any input that you want to give to us in this to make it good. Thank you.
Is it at a fee or what? Or pro bono? At a fee or pro bono?
This committee has been helping us since, so I will be happy to receive any inputs from this committee.
Oh, I thought you were asking me a personal as a professional.
Yes.
So, anyway,
for the love of the country.
All right. All right, paragraph 154. Honorable Sam George.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Chairman, may you live long, and a happy new year to everyone appearing before us. Paragraph 154 and 155 deals with breaches of Section 71 as well, where 82 companies had unpaid corporate tax amounting to 329,384 Ghana cedis, 45 Ghana pesos, for the 2021 year of assessment in the Odumase Krobo district office. Strangely, there is nothing about recovery. It's just the recommendation to the commissioner. What's the current status?
Mr. Chair, thank you very much. Mr. Chair, for this one, we've recovered 262,592. And objection determined 4,572. Outstanding balance is 62,219 Ghana cedi. And Mr. Chair, from the various visits that we've done, it's confirming that these taxpayers are currently not in operation. And we, as Commissioner General indicated, is one of the challenges we're having. So when we submit the paper and we get the final approval as to how tax debt can be written off, some of these things will be considered to take them from our books. Thank you, Chair.
Chairman, in line with the previous directives, I don't think I have any further questions.
Let's move to paragraph 156, Honorable Aziz.
Thank you, Chairman. Commissioner, you have non-collection of VAT from 10 registered traders. I want to know the status of that infraction, please.
Mr. Chair, with respect to this one, you've recovered for 78.9%. So when the percentage is high, I'm confident you mentioned that. So which amount to 49,844. The outstanding balance, Mr. Chair, is 13,333. Mr. Chair, we are using our tools to recover this. Also coming from one of the hardcore taxpayer centers, that is Bolgatanga. Thank you.
Commissioner, and what is the timeline in collecting the remaining balance, please?
Mr. Chair, for once a tax is due, we have processes up to about 90 days. But when the taxpayer is unable to pay within this period, we use the enforcement tools, as I mentioned. We use garnishment, trying to see whether you have money elsewhere, so we can lay our hands on. We do a seal-off to prevent you from entering your business premises as a deterrent, so that you own up and come and pay. So when we get to a position of this, that we move into the distress action, and that is what we're currently doing, using that tool to recover the outstanding liability. And in this instance, we don't have timelines, because once you put a garnishee order, you're expecting that the person will come and pay if there is money standing in favor of the taxpayer. So that is what we do. And when we do a seal-off, the seal-off, we expect that you quickly come and negotiate and pay. Or when you fail to do, then we moved into the next stage of taking charge of
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Commissioner, my last question. Have you applied Section 71 in this recovery process?
Mr. Chair, 71 is mandatory.
Thank you.
It's
okay. Thank you.
Old, you don't have any.
Commissioner, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Chairman, please continue.
All right, the next one is paragraph 159. That's the Bibiani Taxpayer Service Center. An amount of 140,441.15 Ghana cedis was not collected by GRA. Have you collected this money?
Mr. Chair, we've collected 87,034 Ghana cedi, and the return filed and determined 14,760. Mr. Chair, we have 38,641 as the outstanding balance, and we are pursuing collection.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, auditors, can you confirm these figures?
Honorable Chair, the total amount recovered is 87,034 cedis. Then returns filed and determined is 14,765.56. The outstanding balance is 38,641.53.
All right. The next one, paragraph 161. That is the Asimfosu Domestic Tax Revenue Division. So rent tax amounted to 32,199.36. Personal income tax amounting to 11,675.61, giving a total of 43,875 were not collected or were outstanding in respect of 2021 and 2022 years of assessment. You are to recover this money from the defaulters. Have you?
Mr. Chair, with respect to the personal income tax, we've recovered fully. That is 11,675.61. And outstanding relating to rent tax, Mr. Chair, we've collected 9,000 out of the amount, 32. So outstanding balance is 23,116 Ghana cedi. Mr. Chair, the same tools is being used to enforce collection of the outstanding balance. Thank you.
Auditors, any confirmation?
Honorable Chair, confirmed.
Paragraph 163, GRA Aguna Swedro Office. We have taxes amounting to 3,534,925, which you have not collected. So we have a total of 54,676.87 for 2021 year of assessment to cover pay as you earn, rent, corporate, and personal self-employed. Now, the auditors also noted that direct taxes of 1.919 million and indirect taxes of 1.561 million were also outstanding from defaulters who had reached agreement with the management of the tax office for the payment of these overdue taxes. Can you update the committee on how much have been recovered from the total of 3.534 million?
Mr. Chair, thank you very much. Mr. Chair, with respect to the first one, that is a 54,676. We've recovered 29,612, and with an outstanding balance of 25,000, which works up to 54.16%. Now, with the other taxes, Mr. Chair, we've recovered 1,339,835.44 Ghana cedi. Penalty and interest waived 291,491. Outstanding 1.848. Mr. Chair, with the outstanding balance, we're using the tools. The garnishee order has been served on one of the taxpayers, and the garnishee order is still running, and that is 1.15 of the company. And the remaining one, we're using other enforcement to collect the outstanding liability. Thank you, Chair.
Auditors, can you confirm the recovery made?
Honorable Chair, the total recovery, we have the 25,064 has been recovered, and then there is an additional recovery of 1.3 million. Penalties waived is 291,000. So the outstanding balance is 1.8 million, as indicated.
Paragraph 166, Vice Chairman.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. We are talking about OMC's default in paying rescheduled debt up to the tune of 327,636.68 Ghana cedis. What is the status of this amount?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I will give it to the Commissioner Customs to respond. But I want to say that this relates to some old debts. But as far as the OMC's area is concerned, we've put in a number of measures that consistently is reducing these outstandings. And so, for example, if you take 2023, the total number of OMCs that ended the year of default were 2. If you take 2022, the total number of OMCs that ended the year of defaults were 3. And so our measures seems to be, is working so far. And what is outstanding is the old ones, which we are pursuing them. But I'll give it to the Commissioner, Customs, to take us to the specific ones.
Mr. Chair, there were 18 oil marketing companies that were involved with the total debt of 327.6 million. Out of this amount, a total of amount recovered of 40 million, leaving an outstanding 267.6 million. 10 of the OMCs involved had fully settled their debts, which amounted to the 60 million. That was 35.6 million, and 8 paid partially. That was 24.3 million, and making up the 60 million. Out of the 8 which are still outstanding, some of them have did some rescheduling, and they are currently paying. Those who have done the rescheduling, amount to 39.7, and there are 2. 2 others, the rescheduling is 185.1 million Ghana cedis. 3 of the companies are currently being referred. They have been referred to an investigation unit to prepare them for prosecution, while 2 others are already facing prosecution for being unable to pay. The Chairman, that is the situation.
So, sir, so that I understand, 327 million plus, how much of it have we collected and what is outstanding?
60 million has been collected, and the outstanding is 267.6 million.
So there were 260 million outstanding. What are we doing about it? That's more than we are getting from IMF. What are we doing about it?
Mr. Chair, that is why I say that some of them have rescheduled to pay. Others who have not been able to pay, we are prosecuting them to make sure that we recover from their assets.
If I can add to that, yes, as mentioned, most of them are being prosecuted for criminal prosecution. At the court, we have each of them, the ones that have agreed on some settlement agreement at the court, and the settlement agreement has been filed, and they are paying. There are about some of them which have also defaulted even the court settlement, and we are actually going to the level of asking for prison sentence if they don't honor the settlement that they have done.
Honorable Park.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The table provided by the auditors indicates names of companies. You have told this committee that some have paid, 8 have made partial payments, 2 are being prosecuted, another 3 are being prepared for prosecution. This is a public forum. Can you tell us the companies that have paid partially, those that have paid in full, and those that are being prepared for prosecution? It's important. There is no need for us to try and cover up for anyone. We are dealing with public resources, so the people must know.
Honorable Chair, 5 of them have made part payments. They are Galaxy Oil, Lily Gold Energy Resources, Rado Oil, P&O Energy Company, and Perfect Petroleum Company Limited. The 3 that have not made any payment at all are Karila Oil and Gas Company Limited, Tilan Petroleum Limited, and Zoo Petroleum Limited. They have not made any, and the liability involved is 46.9 million.
Sir, the names you mentioned are not on this list. We are talking of paragraph 168. Yes. Page 47. You see, the OMC's defaulting. Yeah, you are answering the other question.
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry, I went to a wrong page.
All right.
Yeah. From the.
If I can. So, there are 10 OMCs who have made full payment. So the 10 OMCs who have made full payment are Capstone Oil, Excel Oil, Blanco Oil, AP Oil and Gas, Joe and Jew Oil Company Limited, BF Petroleum, Agapet Limited, CNG Oil, Life Petroleum, and Champion Oil. These are the ones that have made full payment. Then there are others that have made part payment. 8 of them have made part payment. So the 8 that have made part payment are Venice Oil, Sefin Oil, Orient Energy, Gulf Energy, Santol Energy, Golden Petroleum, Cash Flow and Precious Energy. And as I said, as currently, even though, for example, Venus Oil has made part payment, Venus Oil is currently being prosecuted because Venus, V-E-N-U-S, because since the part payment, we have not seen the sufficient progress, and therefore they are being prosecuted. Sefin Oil, also, who has also made part payment, is also being prosecuted. Orient Energy, who also made part payment, is also being prosecuted to recover the total outstanding against their names, which is 39.712 million. These are the ones which have made part payment, but however, we are prosecuting them. And then Gulf Energy and Central Energy, we have agreed a current rate schedule, and we are monitoring it. If they fail, we'll also begin prosecution against them. Golden Petroleum, Cash Flow, and Precious Energy, their total debt stands at 42 million, and we need some more information for the prosecution. And so our investigation department is finalizing the data for the prosecution of these ones to also commence. In the meantime, some of them, like Capstone, Golden Petroleum, and Precious Energy, have had their license revoked by the NPA.
Thank you, Chairman.
About those for prosecution, because there are some that you didn't mention. Orient Energy, what is going on? BF Petroleum, Precious Energy, Joe and Jew Oil. What is happening with those?
No. Mr. Chair.
They are fully paid. Okay.
The list. We do have a full list of each of them, how much they have paid so far, what's outstanding, and we can even give you exactly the status at the court, whether a settlement agreement has been reached, whether the settlement agreement was reached but they failed to honor, and whether there's a what do you call it, adjournment of the case, and when the next case is coming. I have a full detail that we can make available to the committee.
Auditors, could you confirm what you just said?
Honorable Chair, we can confirm that in total 60,029,000 has been recovered, leaving a balance of 267,606,293.65. We can also confirm that the 10 entities, as they indicated, have made full payments.
Honorable Isaac.
Chairman, I think the big companies, those who are owing huge amounts, are not making any efforts to pay. Because if out of 18, 10 have fully paid the outstanding debts, as many as 10 out of 18, and even the remaining 8, they've also made part payments. And yet, the recovery is only 60 million out of 332. I think it's not good enough.
Mr. Chairman, currently we have used all the methods, including the final method, which is the prosecution. And even at the prosecution stage, we have even got to a point where about 3 of them, we are now asking the court to commit them into custody because they are not paying. So as far as the action is concerned, Mr. Chairman, I can assure you that we are following up of the action to the very last point as far as the OSM is concerned. But the key thing is also not to get here again. So what we have done is to make sure that we are putting measures. So some of the measures that we are putting in place, Mr. Chairman, is that now previously we had all insurance companies being able to provide bonds for OMCs. Today, we have done our own appraisal of the insurance companies, and today we have only 8 insurance companies. We have also done appraisal of the insurance and giving them limits. So we have looked at their balance sheet and we have determined how much they can provide, they can guarantee in terms of individual bond, in terms of the overall bond. And then we have also asked all the rest to go to banks for guarantees. Number 2, we also have done a system where as soon as you fail, the system blocks you. So we are not able to continue. And so currently, as I said, for 2023, for example, only 2 companies have outstandings, and the total outstanding is 3 million, and they have insurance valid guarantees, which insurance companies have committed to pay the fail to honor. 2022, we ended up with 3 for a total of 40 million, which also have insurance companies who have valid and they are ready to pay. So we are putting mechanism to prevent this thing from recurring. But the old ones, we are also doing aggressively to the last point that is allowed by the court, the law.
Honorable Yusuf.
Chairman, thank you. Yes, so some efforts is being made to get this money collected. But I want to find out whether some of these companies are still in operations.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Some of them that, as I mentioned, have been blocked. Some of them are also not in operation. For example, Q8 is not in operation. So some of them are not in operation. Those that are in operation, they are in operation on cash and carry basis. What I mean by cash and carry basis is that we don't grant them the credit. So you pick as per what your cash flow can allow you. And then what we do is that for every portion that you pick, a portion of it is used to reduce your indebtedness, whilst you use the other part to big properties that our lawyers have visited, and once they are able to do the evaluation, they will take it back to the court, and then they will table it as an offer from the oil companies.
The last item for GRA, paragraph 170, Deputy Ranking.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Paragraph 170 has to do with some 9 OMCs that failed the 21 days plus 4 days rule to settle their liabilities. I want to find out from you what has happened to the 886,355,813.51 Ghana cedis on the 53,807,950 liters of fuel products.
Mr. Chairman, this is also the 86 million. And again, the recovery is very small in terms of 3.7 million that has been recovered. Now, those who have settled in full, GOIL Ghana Limited has settled their debts in full. That's about 191,000. And then there are 5 others that have made part payments of a total of about 3.5 million. Those that have made the part payments are Galaxy Oil, Lily Gold Energy, Lily Gold Energy Resources Limited, Rodo Oil, P&O Energy Company Limited, and Perfect Petroleum Company Limited. The three OMCs that have not made any payments at all are Karila Oil and Gas Company Limited, Titan Petroleum, and Zoe Petroleum. They have not made any payment of the total outstanding of 46.9 million. As I mentioned, we are prosecuting 4 of them, from these particular ones. So Karila Oil is being prosecuted, Perfect Petroleum is being prosecuted, Titan Petroleum is also being prosecuted, as well as Zoe Oil, who is also in court. These are all in court to recover. Then the other ones, which we are getting more data, just as I mentioned the first one, for us to be able to begin the prosecution is Galaxy Oil, Lily Gold, Energy Resources, Rodo Oil, and PO Energy. Mr. Chairman, so it's a similar process to the other one that I mentioned earlier on.
But while you take steps to prosecute them, what are the statuses of these companies? Are they still functional? Are they still lifting oil?
For example, if you Lily Gold, Titan Petroleum, and Zoe Petroleum are not functioning as I speak, because together with whilst we have blocked them, National Petroleum Authority have also blocked them. And so whilst we engage them, we are looking for, as I said, properties and other things like that to see. And that's why I said that if the whole thing fails, then the only option is to push them. And Mr. Chairman, I believe that 1 or 2 of such cases need to go to prison, and then thank you.
Well, I appreciate the bit about trying to punish people and taking people to prison and all of that. But Mr. Commissioner General, you agree with me that at a point in our country, we had relaxed the entire system to allow these things to go on? Because I have a bit of experience in this OMC business, lifting oil and all of that. And people were just bypassing the entire system, lifting oil without paying taxes to the states. What in your estimation accounted for this?
Thank you very much. I mentioned that we are putting a number of measures. Number one, as I mentioned, today we are saying go to banks for guarantees and not insurance companies. If you want to go to insurance companies, we have to engage with the National Insurance Commission. We have done an own appraisal of the insurance companies, and we have total number of 7 or 8 insurance companies.
Mr. Mishadai, I like the bit about the policies and programs that I have put in place. But I'm saying that whilst you are taking steps to imprison people for not paying taxes to the states, persons who work at your agency, persons who work at MPA and all of those, who allow this corruption, who allow this rot to go on, what have you done about them?
Mr. Chairman, where we find people who are connive in any way, we do also discipline them. And I can assure you that we have disciplined somebody before.
Are you saying on record that there are persons within your agency that you have disciplined based on this?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
And you are able to provide this committee with the names of such persons?
Mr. Chairman, yes, I can provide it to you.
All right. Chairman, I leave this to your discretion.
Honorable Sam George.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Chairman, I indicated
Honorable member, why are you defending the Commissioner General?
Nobody is defending, but Mr. Chairman, respectfully, we came here to
why are you defending the Commissioner General?
This is not a public interest question.
Honorable members, I'm the one chairing this committee. I am the one chairing this committee. I have explained why I'm allowing him to respond to the question. If you're not satisfied with this, do you want to be shouting at this committee? Will that solve the problem? It won't. I'm saying that he's a public officer. We have the law that governs this country. Fortunately, if you attain the age of 60, you have the opportunity to be given a contract. If he's on contract, he will tell us, and that's solve it. What is your problem? If he's not up to 60, he will say it. What is your problem? Mr. Commissioner General, can you respond to the question? Mr. Commissioner General, we are waiting for you. Mr. Commissioner General, will you respond to the question or you will not? Mr. Commissioner General, will you respond to the question posed by the member or you will not?
Mr. Chairman, the Honorable Deputy wanted to make an intervention.
No, I'm asking you, not the Deputy Minister. If I want the Deputy Minister to come in, I'll ask her.
Citizen TV, the citizen's power. Citizen TV, the citizen's power. Citizen TV, the citizen's power. Citizen TV, the citizen's power.